Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a question. Who told you that your purpose in life is to find a job? Who deceived you into believing that your destiny is just a paycheck? I came to shake up your thinking today. God never created you to look for a job. He created you to fulfill a vision. God created you with a purpose, not for employment. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a question that will shake the very foundation of how you've been taught to live. Who told you that you were born to look for a job? Who convinced you that your destiny is tied to an employment contract? Let me tell you something. God never created you to be a job seeker. He created you to be a solution provider, a problem solver, a leader in your field. You were never meant to spend your life chasing salaries when you have something far greater inside you. Your gift. From the time we were children, we were conditioned to believe that life follows a simple formula. Go to school, get good grades, find a job, and work until you retire. But let me ask you, who does this formula benefit? The people who create jobs or the ones who work in them? My friends, I came to wake you up today. The richest people in the world don't look for jobs, they create them. They don't search for paychecks, they develop solutions. They don't beg for opportunities, they build them. But what about you? Are you still waiting for someone to give you a job? Or are you ready to step into your purpose? Do you know why so many people hate Mondays? Because they are going to a job they don't love, working for people they don't respect, doing tasks that don't fulfill them. And yet, they wake up every day, put on a smile, and force themselves through it because they have bills to pay. But listen to me. When you find your purpose, every day feels like a Friday. When you discover your true work, you don't drag yourself out of bed. You jump up with passion. Why? Because you are not just working for money. You are living out your assignment. Let me prove it to you. Have you ever seen a bird go to school to learn how to fly? Have you ever seen a fish attend a university to learn how to swim? No. Why? Because they were designed to do those things naturally. That is their work. When a bird is flying, it is not stressed. It is in its element. When a fish is swimming, it is not struggling. It is fulfilling its design. And guess what? You too were designed for something. You too have an inborn ability that requires no formal training. Something that comes naturally. Something that when you do it, time disappears, stress disappears, and joy fills your heart. That is your gift. That is your work. But society has lied to you. They have told you that your job defines you, that your worth is measured by your salary, that success is climbing a corporate ladder that you didn't even build. And many of you have believed that lie. You spend years chasing promotions, working overtime, sacrificing your health, your family, your dreams, just to make someone else rich. And the worst part, you are replaceable in that system. You can give them 20 years of your life, and in one email they can let you go. But listen, when you discover your gift and use it, nobody can fire you from being you. Do you know why the wealthiest people in the world are not job seekers? Because they don't operate by the world system. They operate by the system of purpose. Look around you. The people who change the world are not the ones filling out job applications. They are the ones creating solutions. Steve Jobs didn't look for a job. He created Apple. Elon Musk didn't wait for employment. He built Tesla and SpaceX. Oprah Winfrey didn't send out R.A. Sumes. She stepped into her gift. What about you? Are you waiting for someone to pick you? Or will you step into what you were born to do? Some of you are sitting on million-dollar ideas, but you are too afraid to act. You have talents that could change industries, but you are stuck in a 9-to-5, thinking that security is better than purpose. But let me tell you something. There is no security in a job. The only security in life is in knowing who you are and doing what you were born to do. When you walk in purpose, doors open that no man can shut. When you serve your gift to the world, opportunities come looking for you. The problem is not that jobs are scarce. The problem is that too many people are looking for a job instead of looking for their gift. Some of you are waiting for the right time to step out and use your talents. You tell yourself, one day I will start my business. One day I will pursue my dream. But let me tell you the truth. One day is a lie. There will never be a perfect time. The right time is now. The world is waiting for what you have inside of you. Your generation is waiting for the gift you carry. Stop wasting time. Stop making excuses. Step into your purpose now. My friends, you were not born to look for a job. You were born to create, to innovate, to lead. The moment you understand that, your entire life will change. Your mindset will shift. Your decisions will be different. You will stop waiting for opportunities and start making them. You will stop depending on salaries and start depending on your own potential. Because when you are operating in your purpose, you will never be unemployed another day in your life. Your gift is the key to your wealth. Listen to me carefully. Your gift is the key to your wealth. Not a job, not a paycheck, not a promotion. Your gift. The problem is society has trained us to chase money instead of discovering what we were born to do. That's why so many people are stuck in frustration, working jobs they hate, living paycheck to paycheck, and feeling like they are running in circles. But let me tell you something. Money follows purpose. Wealth is attracted to those who serve their gift to the world. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly succeed while others struggle their entire lives? It's not because they are smarter, luckier, or more privileged. No. It's because they found their gift and used it. Your gift is that thing you do better than anyone else with the least amount of effort. It's that thing that makes you come alive. That thing that when you do it, time disappears, stress fades, and passion takes over. Your gift is the thing that God placed inside you to be your source of provision. The problem is, too many people are ignoring their gift and chasing salaries instead. Let me prove it to you. Have you ever met a chef who loves cooking so much that they don't even care about the time? They can stay in the kitchen for hours, experimenting, creating, tasting, and refining their dishes. And before they know it, people start talking about their food. One person tells another, and suddenly they're booked for events. Then they open a restaurant. Then they release a cookbook. Then they start a cooking show. And before they know it, they are making millions. Not because they chased money, but because they served their gift. That's how wealth works. Money is a reward for value. The more people you serve with your gift, the more wealth you attract. But you see, the problem is we have been trained to look for a safe job instead of pursuing what we were born to do. Parents tell their children, forget about your passion, go study something that pays well. And so millions of people go to school, graduate, and end up in careers they don't even like. They spend their days dreaming about what they wish they could be doing while sitting in offices, trading every single hour. But here's the truth. If you hate your work, you will never be wealthy. Because true wealth comes when you pour yourself into something you love, something that makes you excited to wake up every morning. Think about this. Why do athletes like Lionel Messi, LeBron James, and Cristiano Ronaldo make millions? Is it because they have jobs? No, it's because they found their gift, worked on it, and served it to the world. They didn't wake up one day and say, I need to find a job. No. They discovered what they were naturally good at, they refined it, and then they turned it into their profession. And now, the world pays them millions because their gift brings joy, excitement, and entertainment to millions of people. That's how success works. Look at artists, musicians, and actors. Do you think they are working a 9-to-5 job? No. They are being paid because they developed their talent and served it. When a singer writes a hit song, that song can make them money for the rest of their life. They don't have to clock in or report to a manager. Why? Because their gift is making room for them. Meanwhile, someone else who ignored their talent is stuck in an office, staring at the clock, waiting for 5 p.m. so they can go home. The difference is not intelligence, luck, or connections. It's purpose. Let me tell you something that will shake your mindset. Jobs were created by people who discovered their gifts. Every job that exists today was created by someone who refused to be a job seeker. Think about it. The person who owns the company you work for, did they apply for a job? No. They built something. They created value. And now, they are employing thousands of people who are trading their time for a paycheck. But what if you stopped thinking like an employee and started thinking like a creator? What if instead of searching for a job, you search for your gift? What if instead of filling out applications, you started asking yourself, what problem can I solve with my talent? That's the difference between those who live in wealth and those who struggle. I want you to imagine this. You have two people who both love fashion. One decides to go to school, get a fashion degree, and then spends years looking for a job in a clothing company. They finally land a position, but they are stuck designing clothes for someone else's brand, making just enough money to survive. The other person, they decide to start making clothes from their home. They post their designs on social media. One person buys, then another and another. Soon, celebrities are wearing their outfits and their brand takes off. 10 years later, the first person is still in a job, still waiting for a raise. The second person, they now owe double in the clothing company. The only difference between them is that one chased a paycheck while the other served their gift. The problem with a job is that it places a limit on your income. You work for a fixed salary, and no matter how hard you work, your paycheck stays the same. But when you operate in your gift, there is no limit. If you are a writer, you can write one book and make money for a lifetime. If you are a speaker, you can give one speech and get paid more than someone's yearly salary. If you are an inventor, you can create one product and earn millions. This is why the wealthiest people in the world are not employees. They are people who found their gift and turned it into a business. So, my question to you is this: are you going to keep chasing jobs? Or are you going to discover what's inside of you? Are you going to keep trading your time for a salary? Or are you going to build something that pays you even while you sleep? Your gift is already in you. You don't need another degree to find it. You don't need permission from anyone. You just need to recognize it, develop it, and start serving it to the world. Because when you do, wealth will follow you. Opportunities will chase you. Doors will open that no man can shut. And you will finally understand that you were never created to look for a job. You were created to dominate through your gift. Our jobs were created by men, but work was created by God. Let me shake up your thinking today. There's a difference between a job and work. A job is something men created to control economies, but work is something that God placed inside of you to fulfill your purpose. A job is a system that forces you to trade your time for money, but work is an assignment that lets you trade your gift for impact. A job is temporary, but your work is eternal. And yet, the majority of people spend their whole lives searching for jobs instead of discovering their true work. Have you ever wondered why so many people work hard their whole lives but still struggle financially? They wake up early, sit in traffic, work 8 or more hours, and then come home exhausted, only to repeat the same cycle the next day. They pray for promotions, they fight for raises, they stress over bills, and yet, no matter how hard they work at their job, they never seem to break free. Why? Because they are laboring in a system that was never designed to make them wealthy. You don't become rich by working a job. You become rich by discovering and serving your gift. Look at the wealthiest people in the world. They don't work jobs. They work their gifts. They don't submit resumes. They create opportunities. They don't spend their lives chasing salaries. They build businesses, invest in ideas, and solve problems. Why? Because they understand something that most people don't. Jobs are man-made, but work is God-ordained. When you operate in your true work, you step into a realm of unlimited potential. Your value increases, your influence grows, and opportunities start chasing you instead of you chasing them. Let me prove it to you. Take a lion, for example. A lion doesn't apply for a job in the jungle. It just wakes up and does what it was born to do. It hunts, it leads, it dominates. It doesn't need a paycheck because everything it needs is already provided for in its environment. The same goes for an eagle. It doesn't need flying lessons. It doesn't need approval. It doesn't need to apply for a position in the sky. It simply spreads its wings and soars. That's what happens when you step into your work. You don't beg for positions. You create your own lane. You don't worry about survival. You thrive by doing what you were born to do. But you see, the world has convinced us that the only way to survive is to get a job. And so, from the time we are children, we are conditioned to believe that our only purpose is to graduate, get hired, and work until retirement. We are taught that success is having a secure job with a steady paycheck, even if that job makes us miserable. But let me ask you, when did security replace purpose? When did comfort become more important than destiny? When did people stop believing in the power of their own gift and start settling for paychecks that barely cover their bills? Let me wake you up today. Security is an illusion. You think your job is secure, but at any moment, your employer can decide that they no longer need you. You can spend years building someone else's company, only to be replaced by technology, budget cuts, or a cheaper worker. And then what? You go back to looking for another job. You start all over again. That's the cycle they want you to be trapped in. But when you find your true work, nobody can fire you from being you. Nobody can lay off your gift. Nobody can replace your anointing. You are the only one who carries what you carry. And until you release it to the world, you will never walk in true financial freedom. Have you ever noticed that people who are the best at what they do never have to apply for jobs? Instead, opportunities chase them. Why? Because when you serve your gift to the world, people will pay you for what you naturally do best. Look at the greatest athletes. They are not looking for jobs. Their skills bring them contracts worth millions. Look at the best musicians. They don't have to beg for work. Their talent attracts wealth. Even your favorite influencers and entrepreneurs. What are they doing? They are simply monetizing their natural gifts. And yet, so many people ignore their own talents and waste years chasing jobs that will never give them true fulfillment. Let's talk about fulfillment for a moment. Have you ever met someone who is making good money at their job, but they are still miserable? They have a big house, a nice car, a high salary, but they are unhappy. Why? Because money alone does not bring fulfillment. If you are not operating in your purpose, you will always feel empty, no matter how much you earn. That's why people wake up one day, quit their six-figure careers, and start over in something that actually brings them joy. Because at the end of the day, a job can pay your bills, but only your work can give you peace. Now, let's be clear. I'm not telling you to quit your job today with no plan. No. What I'm saying is, don't get stuck in a job mentality. Your job should be your temporary training ground, not your final destination. Use it to learn, to grow, to build connections. But never let it become a prison. Your work is bigger than your job. Your gift is bigger than your paycheck. Your destiny is bigger than your position. Stop limiting yourself to a salary when you were born to create wealth. Some of you have gifts that you are ignoring right now because you think they can't make you money. But let me tell you something. Everything that has value in this world started as a simple idea. Someone once said, Nobody will pay to watch other people play video games. But now, professional gamers make millions on platforms like Twitch and YouTube. Someone once said, nobody will pay to listen to people talk on a podcast. But now, the biggest podcasters make more than TV hosts. Someone once said, nobody will buy pictures online. But now, photographers sell stock images and NFTs for thousands of dollars. Do you see what I'm saying? Your gift is valuable, but only if you believe in it enough to develop it. Look at the phone in your hand right now. Someone had the idea to create it. Someone saw a problem and solved it. Someone built the apps you use, the websites you browse, the clothes you wear, the products you buy. Do you know what that means? It means that wealth is created by solving problems, not by looking for jobs. If you want to change your financial future, stop asking, who will hire me? And start asking, what problem can I solve? Because when you solve problems, money will follow you. When you develop your gift, doors will open. When you step into your true work, you will never have to chase opportunities again. Because opportunities will come looking for you. Employment limits you, but purpose expands you. Listen carefully. There is a difference between a job and your true work. A job is what you do to survive. Your work is what you were born to do. A job gives you a paycheck. Your work gives you purpose. A job is a temporary arrangement. Your work is your divine assignment. And yet, most people spend their entire lives chasing jobs instead of discovering their true work. They are looking for security, but in reality, they are walking into a trap. A cycle designed to keep them dependent, limited, and afraid to step into their true potential. Think about it. A job controls your time, your energy, and your income. It determines when you wake up, when you eat, when you take vacations, and how much you are worth per hour. It places a ceiling on your earning potential, telling you this is how much you deserve, even when you know you are capable of more. And the worst part, it keeps you busy enough to stop you from ever thinking about your real purpose. Most people are too exhausted from working jobs. They don't even like to ever sit down and ask, why am I really here? What was I created to do? No, let me tell you something that will change your thinking forever. Your job is not your source. Your employer is not your provider. If you think your salary is the only way for you to survive, you have already been deceived. Do you realize that the people who own the company you work for do not have a salary? They do not live paycheck to paycheck. They do not fill out job applications. They are not hoping for a promotion. Why? Because they are not employees. They are owners. They are visionaries. They are operating in their work while you're busy working for them. Do you understand what that means? It means that you were never meant to be trapped in a system where someone else decides your value. You were meant to operate in your own purpose.
Let me ask you.
When was the last time you met a billionaire who got there by working a job? You won't find one, because jobs do not create wealth. Gifts do. The wealthiest people on the planet became rich by mastering and serving their gifts. Look at athletes, LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, Serena Williams. They are not employed. They are paid because they develop their skills and serve them to the world. Look at musicians, Beyonce, Drake, Ed Sheeran. They do not fill out job applications. Their talent attracts money. Look at tech giants, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. They didn't look for a job. They created something of value. And here's the truth. None of these people are better than you. They simply refuse to be limited by employment. They refuse to settle for a paycheck when they knew they had a gift that could create wealth. The system wants you to believe that the only way to be successful is to get a job, work hard, retire at 65, and then finally enjoy life. But let me tell you something. By the time most people retire, they are too old, too tired, or too sick to enjoy the life they sacrificed for. They spent their best years working for someone else, only to realize at the end that they never really lived. And let's be real, not everyone even makes it to retirement. People die before they ever experience the freedom they worked for. People give their entire youth to a company that replaces them the moment they are gone. People dedicate their lives to a system that never truly valued them. And you think that's success? No, that's a wasted life. You see, the problem is that the world teaches us to focus on making a living instead of making a life. They tell you, go to school, get a degree, find a good job, and you'll be set. But let me tell you something. There are people right now with degrees who are struggling to pay their bills. There are people with years of experience who are being laid off. There are people who did everything right, but are still broke, stressed, and unfulfilled. Why? Because they followed a system that was never designed to give them freedom. If a job was the key to success, why do employees struggle while business owners thrive? If a job was the key to happiness, why are so many people miserable on Monday mornings? Let me challenge you right now. Stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an owner. Stop chasing paychecks and start creating value. Stop looking for opportunities and start building them. The moment you realize that your job is not your destiny, your whole life will change. Some of you are sitting on million-dollar ideas, but fear is keeping you in a cubicle. Some of you have talents that could open doors globally, but doubt is keeping you in a 9 to 5 routine. Some of you have a calling that could impact millions, but the system has convinced you that a safe job is better than stepping into your greatness. Let me tell you something powerful. When you are in your true work, money follows you. When you are operating in your gift, doors open. When you start serving your purpose, opportunities chase you instead of you chasing them. Look at Steve Jobs. He never applied for a job. He created Apple. Look at Oprah Winfrey. She didn't look for a job. She built an empire. Look at Warren Buffett. He never relied on a paycheck. He made investments. These people were not special. They were simply willing to think differently. They understood that employment is a limitation, but purpose is unlimited. Some of you are afraid to step out because you don't know if your gift can sustain you. But let me tell you something. Everything you need is already inside of you. When an orange seed is planted, nobody needs to teach it how to grow into a tree. When a baby bird hatches, nobody needs to teach it how to fly. When a lion is born, nobody trains it to be the king of the jungle. It just is, and you. You were born with something that is meant to sustain you. You don't need another degree to validate it. You don't need permission to use it. You don't need approval from the world. You just need to step into it, develop it, and release it right now. Someone is making millions from the very thing you keep calling just a hobby. Right now, someone is living in abundance from the very skill you are taking for granted. Right now, someone is changing the world with the very passion you keep ignoring. The only difference between them and you is that they had the courage to step out while you are still waiting for the right time. But let me tell you, there is no perfect time. The time is now. You don't have to wait for a job offer when you have a gift inside of you that can create wealth. You don't have to wait for someone to hire you when you were designed to lead. The moment you wake up to who you truly are, you will never look for a job again. Because you will finally understand that you were never created to be an employee. You were created to dominate. The kingdom mindset is about ownership, not job seeking. Listen to me carefully. There is a fundamental difference between what man calls a job and what God calls work. A job is something you do to earn a paycheck. Work is something you were created to do to fulfill your purpose. A job is a system of survival, but work is a system of dominion. A job is what people use to control economies, but work is what God placed inside of you to change the world. The reason most people struggle financially, emotionally, and mentally is because they are trapped in a job when they should be walking in their work. Let me ask you a question. Do you think the wealthiest people in the world spend their time looking for jobs? No. They are not filling out applications. They are not waiting for promotions. They are not working for hourly wages. They discovered their gifts, developed them, and turned them into wealth. They took control of their own lives instead of letting an employer determine their value. And yet, most people spend their whole lives chasing jobs that will never give them the freedom they truly desire. From the time you were a child, the system trained you to be an employee. They told you to go to school, get good grades, graduate, find a good job, and work until you retire. But let me ask you, who told you that was the only way to live? Who convinced you that the purpose of your life is to trade your time for a paycheck? Who said that the best you can hope for is to work hard for someone else until you are too old to enjoy your life? That is not God's plan for you. God did not design you to be limited by a salary, trapped by an employer, or dependent on a system. He gave you a unique gift, a purpose, a calling, something that only you can do. And until you discover it, you will always feel like something is missing, no matter how much money you make. Look at the people who are the best at what they do. Athletes, musicians, artists, entrepreneurs. Do you think they are out there looking for jobs? Their gifts have created opportunities for them. Their skills have made room for them. Their talents have brought them before kings. The world rewards those who serve their gifts, not those who simply work for a paycheck. That is why you can find people with degrees who are broke, and people with no formal education who are millionaires. Because wealth is not a product of how hard you work at a job. It is a product of how well you develop and serve your gift. Let me give you an example. If a lion were to fill out a job application, what would it say? Expert in hunting, leadership, and dominating the jungle. And what if someone told the lion, sorry, we don't have any jobs for lions right now. Maybe you should consider being a zebra instead. That would be ridiculous. A lion doesn't look for a job. It wakes up and does what it was born to do. It hunts, it leads, it thrives. The same goes for an eagle. Nobody has to teach an eagle how to fly. It doesn't apply for a position in the sky. It simply spreads its wings and soars. So why do you, as a human being created with purpose, think you need a job to survive? Why do you ignore the gift inside of you just to chase a paycheck? Why do you settle for being an employee when you were created to be an owner? Some of you are frustrated right now because deep down, you know you were meant for more. You sit at your job every day knowing that you are capable of greater things. You have ideas, visions, talents, things that could change your life and impact the world. But fear is keeping you in a cycle of limitation. You are afraid to step out because you think a job is your only source of security. But let me tell you something, security is an illusion. Your employer can fire you tomorrow. Your company can shut down. The economy can crash. And then what? If your entire life is built around a job, you are always one decision away from losing everything. But when you discover your true work, nobody can fire you from being you. Nobody can take away your purpose. Nobody can lay off your gift. Your work is your real source of wealth. Think about the things that make the most money in the world today. Technology, entertainment, fashion, education, health. Every single one of these industries was built by people who stopped looking for jobs and started creating solutions. Someone invented the phone you use. Someone built the car you drive. Someone designed the clothes you wear. Someone created the social media platforms you scroll through every day. And do you know what that means? It means that money follows those who solve problems. If you want to change your financial situation, stop asking, who will hire me? And start asking, what problem can I solve? Because the moment you start serving your gift to the world, money will start following you. There's someone right now making millions doing what you love to do for free. Someone is turning their passion into profit while you are still waiting for the right time. Someone is living the life you dream of because they refuse to settle for a paycheck. The difference between them and you is not intelligence, luck, or opportunity. It's mindset. They believed in their gift enough to develop it. They refused to be trapped in a job mentality. They stopped working for someone else's vision and started building their own. And you can do the same. Your job is not your final destination. It is only a temporary training ground. It is a place to learn, to grow, to gather experience, but never to settle. Use your job to invest in your dream, but never let it replace your purpose. Your gift is bigger than your paycheck. Your calling is greater than your salary. Your destiny is beyond what any employer can offer you. Stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like a leader. Stop waiting for permission and start walking in your assignment. Stop looking for a job and start building your work. Because when you step into your true calling, you will never have to search for opportunities again. Opportunities will come looking for you. Start searching for a job. Start searching for your gift. You were never created to be trapped in a system that dictates your value, controls your time, and limits your potential. From the moment you were born, you were designed for something greater than just earning a paycheck, following orders, and hoping for a raise that never truly reflects your worth. Yet, most people spend their entire lives in this cycle. Wake up, go to work, come home exhausted, sleep, and repeat. And all for what? Just to survive, just to barely make ends meet, just to retire at an old age when the best years of your life are already behind you. That is not living. That is existing. And you were not born just to exist. You were born to create, to lead, to innovate, to impact. Some of you are stuck in jobs that drain you, that kill your creativity, that make you dread Mondays and count down to the weekend like a prisoner waiting for release. But let me ask you, if you hate something 5 days a week just to enjoy 2 days of rest, is that really success? If you spend 40 years working for a company only to be given a retirement package and a thank you as they replace you with someone younger, was that really a good deal? If you sacrifice your dreams, your gifts, and your potential just for the sake of a secure job, have you really lived? Let me tell you something powerful. Your job is not your source. Your job is not your purpose. Your job is not your destiny. It is a temporary position, a stepping stone, a place to learn and grow, but it should never define you. Too many people allow their jobs to shape their identity. They introduce themselves based on their job titles, as if that is the only thing that matters. I'm an accountant. I'm a teacher. I'm a manager. You are more than that. You are a visionary. You are a creator. You are a leader. You are a problem solver. And until you recognize that, you will always feel trapped because deep inside, you know you were meant for more. Let me show you why jobs were never meant to make you rich. Think about it. Who makes the most money in a company? Is it the employees? No, it is the owners. The people at the top are the ones who decide how much everyone else gets paid. They are the ones who create the system that you work in. And while you are working long hours, hoping for a raise, they are enjoying financial freedom because they are not employees, they are employers. They built something and now they profit from it while others work to maintain it. And this isn't just about business, it's about mentality, because the moment you shift your thinking from how can I find a job to how can I create opportunities, you step into a different level of life. Look around you. Everything you use, everything you buy, everything that shapes your daily routine was created by someone who didn't wait for a job. The phone you use, someone built that. The car you drive, someone designed that. The clothes you wear, someone created that brand. The apps you use, the food you eat, the technology you rely on, All of it exists because someone dared to step out and build something instead of looking for employment. And if they could do it, why can't you? Some of you are sitting on ideas that could change your life, but fear is keeping you in a job that is beneath your potential. Some of you have skills that could create wealth, but doubt is making you stay in a place where your paycheck is controlled by someone else. Some of you have dreams that could impact millions, but instead, you trade your time for a salary that only allows you to pay bills and survive. You were never meant to live paycheck to paycheck. You were never meant to beg for a raise or fear being laid off. You were designed to thrive, to create, to lead, to operate in your unique gift. Have you ever noticed that the richest people in the world are not looking for jobs? Why? Because they have mastered their gift and turned it into a source of income. Athletes don't apply for jobs. They train in their craft and get paid for it. Musicians don't fill out job applications. They create music and the world pays them for it. Business leaders don't wait for someone to offer them a job. They create value and build wealth from it. The secret to success is not hard work in a job. It is hard work in your purpose. Because when you work in your purpose, your work attracts wealth instead of you chasing it. Some of you are thinking, but I need my job to survive. Let me challenge that thinking. Do you really? Or have you just been taught that a job is the only way to make money? Have you been programmed to believe that without an employer, you have no income? Because let me tell you the truth, money is a reward for solving problems. The more problems you solve, the more money you make. And guess what? Your gift is designed to solve a problem. If you focus on developing it, refining it, and offering it to the world, money will follow you instead of you chasing after a paycheck. If an eagle was born to fly, do you think it would be happy living in a cage? If a lion was born to rule, do you think it would be satisfied living as a pet? If a tree was meant to bear fruit, do you think it would thrive in a small pot? No. Because when something is placed in an environment smaller than its purpose, it will always feel limited, restricted, and frustrated. And that is exactly what happens when you settle for a job instead of stepping into your true work. I need you to understand that wealth is not in a paycheck. It is in your gift. The moment you start serving your gift to the world will reward you for it. The moment you shift from I need a job to I have something valuable to offer, your entire financial situation will change. The moment you stop depending on an employer and start trusting in the potential inside of you, you will never worry about money again. There is someone right now making millions from the very thing you do for fun. Someone is turning their passion into profit while you are sitting on your talent. Someone is living the life you dream of because they had the courage to step out while you are still waiting for the right time. But let me tell you something. There is no perfect time. The time is now. You don't have to wait for permission to walk in your purpose. You don't have to wait for a company to recognize your value when you were already designed with value inside of you. The moment you wake up to who you truly are, you will never look for a job again, because you will finally understand that you were never meant to be an employee. You were created to dominate. Success comes from serving the world with your talent. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly felt alive? When was the last time you woke up excited, driven, passionate, knowing that what you do every day is not just work, but a calling? If you can't remember, then you have been living beneath your potential. You have been trapped in a system that was never designed to set you free, only to keep you comfortable enough not to escape. The world has convinced you that success comes from a job, from promotions, from climbing the corporate ladder, from collecting a paycheck. But let me tell you the truth. Real success doesn't come from working hard in a system created by someone else. It comes from working hard in your own gift. from discovering what you were born to do and serving it to the world. Look at the most successful people around you. Do you think they became great by chasing jobs? Do you think they became wealthy by sending out RA Somis? No. They discovered their gifts, developed their skills, and served the world with something unique. That is why people pay them. That is why opportunities follow them. That is why they don't worry about layoffs, recessions, or the economy, because they are not dependent on a system. They are dependent on their own God-given abilities. Listen to me. Money does not come from a job. Money comes from solving problems. The more problems you solve, the more money you make. The world rewards those who bring value, not those who simply work for a paycheck. That is why two people can work the same number of hours, but one earns millions while the other struggles to survive. Because wealth is not about time, it is about value. And the more value you bring, the more wealth you create. So, the real question is, what value are you bringing to the world? What solution are you offering? What problem can only you solve? Think about it. Why do people pay to watch a movie? Because the actors are entertaining. Why do people buy designer clothes? Because the brand represents quality. Why do people pay for coaching, books, music, technology, innovation? Because someone created something valuable and the world was willing to pay for it. The same principle applies to you. When you discover your gift, when you refine it, when you package it and serve it to the world, money will no longer be something you chase. It will chase you, but most people don't think like this. Most people have been programmed to believe that security comes from a job. They think that if they work hard enough, long enough, and stay loyal to a company, they will be rewarded. But how many people have we seen work 30, 40 years for a company only to be laid off when they are no longer needed? How many people have we seen sacrifice their time, their energy, their dreams, only to retire with just enough to survive? That is not security. That is slavery to a system that was never designed to make you rich, only to keep you dependent. You have a gift inside of you that can change your life. But if you keep ignoring it, if you keep treating it like a hobby instead of a calling, you will always be struggling. Your gift is the key to your success, your freedom, your wealth. You don't believe me? Look around you. Every successful person you admire has one thing in common. They built their success around their gift. Michael Jordan didn't look for a job. He mastered his ability to play basketball. Oprah didn't fill out applications. She refined her ability to speak and connect with people. Steve Jobs didn't wait for someone to hire him. He created something the world needed. Do you see the pattern? Success does not come from looking for opportunities. It comes from creating them. And don't tell me you don't have a gift, because that is a lie. Every single person on this planet was created with something unique inside of them. Some people can sing, some can teach, some can build, some can write, some can lead, some can inspire. The problem is not that people don't have gifts, it's that people don't believe in their gifts enough to develop them. They bury their talent under fear, under doubt, under laziness, under the opinions of others. But let me tell you something. Nobody is coming to give you permission to be great. Nobody is going to knock on your door and tell you it's time to step into your destiny. If you want success, you have to take ownership of your gift and put it to work. Let me show you how this works. Have you ever walked into a restaurant and seen a chef who is passionate about cooking? You can taste it in the food. You can feel it in the atmosphere. And that chef will never be broke because people will always pay for quality. Now, compare that to someone who works in the same restaurant but hates their job. They show up late. They do the bare minimum. They complain about their paycheck. And guess what? They stay broke. Why? Because they are doing something they don't love. Something they were never meant to do. Something that is just a job instead of a calling. The difference is not in the work. It's in the mindset. Some of you are sitting on $1 million ideas, but fear is holding you back. Some of you have talents that could change your entire life, but you keep telling yourself it's not the right time. Some of you could create businesses, write books, design products, inspire people, change industries. But instead, you keep working for someone else, building their dream while yours collects dust. When will you wake up? When will you realize that you were never meant to struggle, never meant to settle, never meant to just get by? You were meant to rise. You were meant to lead. You were meant to serve your gift to the world and let the world reward you for it. Success is not about luck. It is not about education. It is not even about how hard you work. It is about discovering the thing you were created to do and giving it to the world. The moment you stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like a visionary, everything will change for you. The moment you stop waiting for a paycheck and start serving your gift, you will never have to worry about money again. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need more job seekers. It needs more problem solvers, more creators, more innovators. The world is waiting for you to wake up, to step up, to take your gift seriously. And when you do, success will no longer be something you wish for. It will be something you live. Now, let me ask you one last question. How much longer are you going to wait? How many more years will pass before you finally step into your true calling? How many more Mondays will you wake up dreading the day, dragging yourself to a job that is stealing your energy, suffocating your creativity, and limiting your potential? How many more excuses will you make for not starting? How much longer will you let fear rob you of the future that was meant to be yours? Some of you have been living in a cage for so long that you've started calling it home. You've been operating in a system that has conditioned you to believe that the only way to survive is to find a job, work hard, and hope for a raise. But listen to me. Birds don't apply for flying jobs. Fish don't look for swimming positions. And lions don't attend hunting school. They just do what they were born to do. And that's exactly what you were meant to do. Operate in your gift, walk in your purpose, and live in abundance. The problem is, you spent so much time fitting into a system that you've forgotten what you were truly created for. It's time to wake up. It's time to stop waiting for the right moment and start creating your own opportunities. It's time to stop asking for permission to be great and start stepping into your destiny. The most dangerous thing you can do in life is play it safe, because playing it safe is the greatest risk of all. You weren't born to pay bills and die. You weren't created just to work, sleep, and repeat. You weren't designed to survive. You were designed to thrive. There are two kinds of people in this world: those who watch others succeed and those who decide to take action. Which one will you be? Will you be the person who spends their whole life watching motivational videos but never does anything? Will you be the person who claps for others while staying stuck in the same place year after year? Or will you be the person who rises up, who takes charge, who refuses to settle for an ordinary life when they were created for greatness? You have been given something powerful, your gift. And let me tell you something about gifts. They are not meant to stay hidden. A lamp is not made to be placed under a table. It is meant to shine and bring light to the room. Your gift is the same way. It is meant to be seen, used, and shared with the world. The graveyard is filled with people who died with their dreams still inside them. People who never wrote the book, never started the business, never launched the idea, never fulfilled their destiny. And I refuse to let you be one of them. I refuse to let you take your gift to the grave with you. Les Brown once said, "The richest place in the world is the graveyard, because there lies all the unwritten books, all the unsung songs, all the unfulfilled dreams." Do you want to add to that graveyard? Or do you want to live a life so bold, so powerful, so impactful that when you leave this world, people will remember your name. Steve Jobs said, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. So the real question is, are you crazy enough? Are you bold enough? Are you willing to take the risk, to step out in faith, to bet on yourself, to break free from the system that has kept you in chains? There are no more excuses. The time for waiting is over. The time for doubt is over. The time for fear is over. Because right now, in this moment, you have a choice to make. You can either continue living the way you've always lived, settling for whatever life throws at you, or you can decide that today is the day everything changes. You can decide that you will no longer be a prisoner to a paycheck, that you will no longer be afraid to use your gift, that you will no longer let fear keep you small. Will Smith once said, God placed the best things in life on the other side of fear. And that means the life you want, the success you dream of, the financial freedom you desire, it's all waiting for you, but you have to be willing to step through fear to reach it. Fear is the enemy of success. Fear is what keeps people stuck in jobs they hate, living lives they don't love, and making excuses instead of progress. But today, fear loses its power over you. Today, you rise up and take what is yours. Warren Buffett once said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And that's exactly what happens when you depend on a job instead of your gift. Your job can disappear overnight, but your gift will always make room for you. Your employer can replace you tomorrow, but nobody can replace your vision, your talent, your purpose. That is why you can never allow a paycheck to determine your destiny. You are meant for more than just surviving. You are meant to create, to lead, to inspire, to impact. So I ask you again, how much longer are you going to wait? How many more dreams will you let die inside of you? How many more years will pass before you finally take action? The clock is ticking, and time waits for no one. There is no perfect moment to start. There is only now. The world is waiting for what you have inside of you. Your generation is waiting for you to rise up and walk in your purpose. The time for doubt is over. The time for fear is over. The time for waiting is over. This is your moment. This is your season. This is your calling. And the only question left is, what will you do with it?